Yeah, you love Pen 15.
I obsessed with that show. Anyway.
You're both fantastic in this great show. Thank you for that. I truly enjoyed my first 6 episodes I got to watch.
Thanks.
And I really loved seeing Carol actually watching some Golden Girls in those moments. She felt really alone and lost. So I was asking myself, what would be your go-to comfort show or films in the face of the end of the world, of course. Yeah.
Particularly in the face of the end of the world. That's a definite added clause for that question. First of all, Golden Girls would be up there. I did not tell them to pick that, but I was not sad they picked that.
Such a great one.
I have based not 1, not 2, but 3 characters in comedies on B. Arthur because I was obsessed with her. God, I don't know. I guess probably comedies. Like if it was the end of the world,
you gotta laugh. Yeah.
Although I do like to just like bore down into the misery, so I'd probably watch something depressing as well. Maybe rewatching all, and I want to do this anyway right now, but rewatching all of 30 Rock, and then maybe Pen 15 over and over. I think that would be a good one to start with.
Yeah, you love Pen 15.
I obsessed with that show. Anyway,
that's a good answer. That's a good answer.
I find comfort in old television, just like Carol Sturka does. Golden Girls is a good show. Me personally, I watch shows like The Honeymooners and The Andy Griffith Show, old American television, and Adam 12 and Emergency. Those are a couple old oldies but goodies. But, you know, more than anything else, probably the Twilight Zone. And the Twilight Zone is an inspiration for this series. And in fact, I'm glad you asked that question. I should point out that the name of the character Ray plays, Carol Sturka, is named after Carol Burnett, one of our favorite people in the world, and I think I can speak for Ray on that count as well. We both know her personally and love her. She's a worldwide, she's an international treasure. And then the name Sturka, the last name, comes from a Twilight Zone episode. There was an episode of the Twilight Zone called Third from the Sun, or Third Planet from the Sun. Can't remember exactly. And Fritz Weaver, the actor, plays a character his last name is Sturka. And I like that name, so that's where the name comes from. So that would be an inspiration for me.
What about you?
Yeah, that's comfort watching.
Yeah, if it was
mostly
a movie,
just Better Call Saul, like my scenes. I think is what you'd want to watch.
Oh yes, absolutely. Again and again and again and again.
Kids shows? So, you have little kids. Do you want to just watch Bluey for the rest of your life?
That'd be amazing. Or Blippi. That'd be great. Or Miss Rachel. I think what I would rewatch, which I have seen it millions of times, I'm going to say it. Dirty Dancing.
Stop. Nice. All right.
I've seen it so many times, but it's just one of those movies that is just so fun, and it's just got everything.
Plus, you like the ballroom
sexy,
dancing.
And I love ballroom dancing. Yeah, I think that'd be my movie.
Can you talk about sort of the genesis of the project? I mean, when did you get the idea, and how did it evolve from there?
I got the idea about almost 10 years ago, about 8 years ago, maybe. I wish I had written it down, the date. Peter Gould and I were working on Better Call Saul, our follow-up to Breaking Bad, and it had pretty much just started. Or maybe we were a year into it. We would take these long lunch breaks, and I'd wander around the neighborhood in Burbank, California. And I would let my mind wander because we'd be working real hard in the writer's room thinking about the one thing. So I tried to relax my brain, and I started daydreaming about a guy who everybody was very nice to him, a man who was treated wonderfully by the whole world. And I don't know where that came from, but it kind of fascinated me. And then I realized maybe it's a TV show. Once I started to figure out the plot, I said, maybe we could make a TV show out of this. Mm-hmm. And about the same time, I was just becoming enamored of Rhea Seehorn's acting and her as a human being. She was new to us, to Peter Gould and myself, and to all of our writers and our Breaking Bad crew, who were the crew we were using on Better Call Saul. We loved her. All of us loved her so much. She's so good. She's so dramatic, but then she's so funny. She can do it all. And so I said to myself, this doesn't have to be a show about a guy. It could be a show about a woman. And who better than Rhea Seehorn to star in it? And so the rest is history, as they say. And I'm so proud of her. She is so good in this.
Wir würden Himmel und Erde in Bewegung setzen, um dich glücklich zu machen.
Wenn ich jetzt darum bitten würde, würdet ihr mir eine Handgranate geben?
Ja?
Was mit einer Bazooka? Was ist mit einem Panzer?
Ja, sicher.
What's so interesting about this show is actually that there are so many scenes where you are completely alone and you have to kind of deal with your inner turmoil all the time. So how hard was that actually to play out and to work with that?
Well, yes, it is a challenge because we're taught as actors for the most part that your objective should be placed in your scene partner, and this the more you're telling your brain that the scene is about your partner, the better off you'll be, right? But there was elements that helped with all of that. One being that if you turn the camera around, I'm not alone. I'm not doing this by myself. I'm doing it with Vince or with Gordon Smith or with Alison Tatlock, one of our writers. You know, like there's this crack team of people helping you. Because of the way Vince writes and because of the way I work, which hopefully he likes, I am presuming he likes if he keeps hiring me. I like to track the interior questions that lead to other questions that lead to other questions, so that I have something, because if I were to go out there and just think like, I bet I'm just interesting if I sit in a chair because I'm fascinating by myself, like I'd fall apart. Like I think the thoughts the whole time, they are what get you through that and can help with nerves and everything else, and breaking those things down like moment to moment. And then also the recollection of the scene partners that I do have, whether it was she's thinking about Helen, you know, Miriam Shore, or she's thinking about her last conversation with Zosha, or the plan that her planned conversation of what I want to say to her tomorrow and what I'll do. Like I am picturing them, and they're all such strong performers that I can use that as well.
A second season already has been confirmed for the show, which is great. So I was asking myself, do you already have sort of the whole outline of the show in your head, or will you evolve it from season to season?
We have more of an idea. My writers and I, at this point in time, have more of an idea of where the show should end than we ever had on Breaking Bad or on Better Call Saul. Having said that, I don't know that we'll necessarily do the things I'm thinking of now, because I think part of my responsibility, being the head writer of a show, is to always be ready to get rid of a good idea in case, you know, in the instance that a better idea comes along. So we're ready to throw away anything at the drop of a hat. But having said that, I think we got some good ideas about where it all should end.